It is round 2 of the LWS Open at Idlewild, presented by Dynamic Discs and the Natty. It's moving day, folks. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're the two hot geese.
Honk. We had high hopes for a sunny day today, but the forecaster lied big time, and we got dumped on.
And someone's gonna pay.
And somebody is going to pay. It was brutal out there in the back 9 for the most part, but we have a very talented card of ladies. Look at this sun. What is that like out there?
Dreams.
Idlewild has been living up to its name. It's been wild out there, folks. And by wild, I mean so muddy. Ella Hansen, Paige Pierce, Valerie Mandujano, and Kat Mertsch will figure their way out through this course. They got to play about half the holes in decent conditions. It was a little blustery this morning. We definitely had more wind than we had on our very slow practice rounds.
Hole 1 was a pretty good headwind today. Par 4, 638. It's one of the few kind of wide open, forgiving holes. So you are looking to birdie. You just want to launch something out here. There is OB left that can come into play if you hyzer out early. There is OB right that they added this year, but it's pretty far. Even if you turn it over to the right, you can still get up there to birdie. The main danger is this one big tree right by the pin if you get caught up. Also, if you get close and go for a putt and miss, there is a hill here that leads towards out of bounds and some rough behind the pin, so you just gotta be careful.
Playing at 10:06 a.m. out of Seattle, Washington, Ella Hansen.
Ella, the only competitor keeping it in even par most of the day yesterday, but finishing out just one stroke over, shooting the hot round. She's got big distance, but she also has control shots dialed. Obviously, that is why she is in the lead right now at the very tight wooded Idlewild. And she's trusting this full flex shot into a headwind? Wasn't it a headwind?
It was a headwind. Yeah. And that's a DD3, but like that's the side to end up on if you're gonna pick a side, I guess.
Next on the
that's
box
great distance.
Out of Pensacola, Florida, Paige Pierce.
Yeah, the out of bounds line wraps in a lot closer on the left-hand side. If you hyzer out and get any sort of skip, you will be out of bounds.
Paige, same tee disc as yesterday. It's a Surge SS, which has a little bit of underspillity to it, but she's trusting it. And this was like a really common result on hole 1 today. The wind just turning you over. Honestly, she pushes that right side out of bounds, but she's okay.
Yeah, it flipped up a little bit too quick, and then the wind took it.
Universal City, Texas, Valerie Mandujano.
Valerie coming off of a very solid year so far, and a really nice finish at U.S. Women's last week.
And a really nice shirt.
It's a great shirt. And matching the disc, come on.
Wow. This looks like a decent correction if it is stable enough to come back. Come on. Come on back.
There we go. She'll have a left to right downhill sloping stance, but it's not too bad when you're that far.
Rosebud, Arkansas, Kat Mertsch.
Love to see Kat on the lead card. Can't wait to watch her throw some bomber sidearms.
Kat taking it out wide and trusting the disc. Wow, it has some really good finish. And that's a decent spot. Good distance.
Ooh, Paige really flirting with that right side out of bounds line. It's pretty steeply uphill from here. That tree blocking any sort of hyzer angle to the green. She'll be throwing a turnover.
A decent gap, but this last tree is definitely in her way. I do think she falls a little short of, that deep rough we saw Valerie in yesterday, though.
Oh, yeah, this shirt rules.
So
nice.
I'm into it. Valerie, similar result as Paige there, turning it over just a little bit, though I think she's just at circle's edge for a putt. Man, Kat is way up here.
She crushed that.
Yeah, she just has a little chip sidearm left.
It looks wide open and friendly, but this is a scary green. The OB line tucks in a lot tighter on the left-hand side, and that hill is so close behind this elevated pin.
Yeah, and the OB wraps behind it too, so.
Ella's so far down there too.
Yeah, she's going tactic.
I mean, I know she's not pin high, but it's like she's throwing sideways to the pin.
Right, and she lost distance with the disc turning over too much.
Unbelievable.
It's a new age, people. Paige just laying up for a par. Yeah, I'd say until it rained, conditions were maybe slightly better than yesterday.
It was nice and cool.
Yeah, which was great. Our practice rounds were awful. They were so hot.
Brutally hot. Felt like you were melting.
Yeah, so it felt pretty good until the rain started. Ella laying up here, looking like a bunch of pars. Valerie with a chance at birdie here. Jumper? Cash.
Wow.
That's so good. She's so good.
What a good start.
A good shirt.
Yeah, the first maybe 6 or 7 holes are out in the wind, so we do have to deal with the wind for a lot of the front 9, but man, it felt so nice. It didn't even matter. You were like thanking the breeze. Wondering if the breeze got that putt at all. It looked like she had total control.
I mean, it was like wobblier than her normal putt, but doesn't matter. Cat, on an elevated pin, this becomes a tester. This little like 16-footer. You know, you have to think about it. Normally you wouldn't. But good putt there.
It's nice they have on the practice green an elevated basket for us to warm up on. Appreciate that. Thanks to the people on the tournament staff for making that happen.
So Valerie with the only birdie there. The rest of our card with pars.
Hole 2, very challenging par 4. This first shot off the tee is demanding, and it kind of dictates the pace of the rest of the hole. Ideally, you want to get out to the little sunny area past all these trees with a backhand turnover, or maybe a distant sidearm that gets right around this ditch or a little bit farther. Your second shot, ideally, you're going over this bush and water and getting as far as you can onto this next little patch of land. The approach is very touchy. It's on the basket's on a very steep right to left downhill slope that goes straight to out of bounds water. 4 feels great here.
4 feels great.
This is a tough par to get. I would be shocked if we saw any birdies. And
oh, really? I mean,
if we
like, you can. It's only 601. It takes 2 phenomenal shots. Don't get me wrong, but it is achievable, you know?
Yeah, I just feel like the second shot, look, the landing zone, that even with great drives, the landing zone has an uphill slope, and it makes it really hard
to... It's more of a side slope.
Yeah, and then you have to throw nose up, too, because of that bush, so you're kind of like having to make a lot of adjustments that don't let you be as aggressive as you'd want to.
Oh, Ella kicks left, and that's probably the worst mistake you can make, because that tree line is really curvy and it's hard to get out of. We did see Valerie have a pretty ideal shot. Paige a little left side. She kicked OB too. Paige is far enough past that bubble of the tree line that she might have more of an open look than Valerie, though.
The sidearm's a good play here, but it's not, you can't get as far as you want to in order to get over that
But
water.
it's a little bit safer.
Totally.
Like, if you hit a tree, you're going to kick to the right, which is much safer. It was a sidearm from Cat.
I'm very familiar to where Ella landed.
Look at how terrible it is. You can't even get to the ideal layup spot. And I thought Paige was better, but not much.
Yeah, according to the stats, this played as the most difficult hole of the day, and you can see here, if you have just the slightest error on your tee shot, what you're working with.
I think in the flyover we saw it was a 5.4 average. Yesterday it was like middle of the pack in difficulty, which was so surprising because it often plays as one of the most difficult holes. Cat going across, which is pretty sick.
Wow.
Wow. Love the confidence.
Man, she must have known that distance exactly because she just barely made it over.
I mean, the thing is even if you just barely make it over, it's kind of worth it because then it makes, I wouldn't call that an easy par, but...
Makes it easier for sure.
Easier.
There's something about even if you're as far as you can get on this first fairway, this shot right here is so sketchy. You can see she's going to be leaning backwards. She's going to be slightly nose up to get over the bush.
That's right in that bush. And maybe in bounds, but pushing it. Spotter going to check. Ella, I think, remained in bounds, but it's not the easiest of shots from there with the bush right in the way.
No.
Paige in a decent spot. She doesn't sound happy with it. It's fading early. She'll have a circle 2 putt to save her par. Wait, bogey. Wait.
Yeah, bogey.
Bogey. You can hear that wind. You can see it in the pond.
Ella able to take the disc further back off the bush because of the new out of bounds rule, but still leaving it kind of short because it's scary to get aggressive on this green.
And this is why it's worth it to go across. Like Kat having a little bit of an easier time than the rest of these ladies getting inside the circle. Valerie, odd place. Like,
yeah,
where is she?
Yeah, crashing that right side when you're going across is definitely smart.
Wow, okay. It kind of rolled, but she parked it. Ella just laying up, which is really smart on this side hill. That water comes up quickly.
So there were no birdies on the day.
So you're trying to say that you were right? I was wrong?
I was exactly right, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, okay.
No, 24% of the field took a par and 76 with a bogey or worse.
Ouch.
This hole played rough today. It played rough yesterday, but even harder today.
Ella with the quad bogey. Wow, those stacked up fast. Maybe she was out of bounds on that second shot. I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think that OB line's pretty pulled off.
Ouch. All right, hole 3 is a par 4, new pin position. We used to play down to the left past the creek. Now we are taking this gap that the drone is flying through. You want to throw a backhand turnover, maybe a roller, maybe a forehand, but most likely a backhand turnover, and you're trying to get as far down this hill and to the left as you can to open up the next shot. You want to get past this big tree here and try to crash into this very guarded green. There's a lot of bushes in the way. It's on a hill. There are some kind of tight gaps. We said it yesterday. I would be surprised to see any threes here.
I would too. It just... The second shot is so difficult to get aggressive on.
Well, I would say the first shot is so difficult.
True.
We've seen amazing shots, and they don't quite have the line to attack. There is a mandatory on the right as well. There's that huge tree that you could go to the right of, but it's not a real play. Like, everyone's trying to go to the left of that big tree in this U-shaped hole. That's not a bad shot from Valerie.
I watched Jessica Weiss today throw a perfect backhand roller, and it still just wasn't enough to be able to attack.
She did the same thing yesterday. I was on her card, and it was beautiful, and yeah, she still couldn't go for it. Good shot from Kat Mertsch there. Also, the tee pad's not pointed in the right direction, so that is different.
Paige turns it a little early and is a little low, but it thankfully does not cut roll. It just checks up. She can still get a par from there very easily.
Very doably? I wouldn't say easily.
Yeah, doably.
She's got to work. That's a word, right?
Totally.
Ella disking down a little bit, throwing an FD to control the angles. That's a great shot.
Paige kind of pinched up against this fairway tree. It will affect her follow through a little bit, and she's still going to try to throw a turnover, probably something real flippy.
Oh God, that always worries me. I'm like scared people are going to break their hands.
She crashes into that corner tree, and she still has some work to do.
Yeah, she can get to the pin from there. It's just technical. Valerie, okay, so this is the right side gap. The mandatory is to the right of where she's throwing. It's tight. It's low ceiling. Like, this is a gap that you take only if you kind of mess up your tee shot. Kat going to the left of this tree. I do like the sidearm.
She's way down there.
Yeah, it's a good shot, and, like, she's not going to be able to get there with the sidearm. And if she does, I don't know.
I'd be blown away.
Yeah.
Oh. Catches one of those low branches and
she's
knocks
fine
straight
though.
down. Yeah.
I mean, that's a good spot. It would have been cool to see where it ended up, but she's all right. Ella with the same FD in hand, I think.
Mm-hmm. This is a distance that I think she technically could get
this is
with
one
a
of the
perfect shot.
better looks. That tree on the right really isn't in her way too much. Oh, wow. Is this the elusive 3? Oh, no. Did that go B?
I lost it. Oh, I think it checked up.
Okay. Paige with a pretty open look at it, but I mean, you can't even really see the basket.
Yeah, I thought she was
So
more
it's-
pinched than that.
Yeah, but like it's still not easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you still have to work for it.
It was a really nice turnover shot. She trickles in right to the just inside the edge of circle 1.
Yeah, solid shot. For some reason, this basket's kind of hard to park.
Dang, Valerie cutting off the corner. She got way down there. She's got-
It's doable. Actually, you know what's crazy is if you go right again, it's kind of open for the hyzer. I'm surprised she
there's some
didn't
little
do
gaps
that.
over there.
Mm-hmm. I did it accidentally in practice. Was like, oh, you can go around. But I'm telling you, no one chooses to go right side gap off the tee.
Cat with the opportunity for a throw in for birdie. Let's do it.
It's good body English. She's a little short in some trees, but she's maybe only 20 feet away or so. Ella looks like she did land in bounds.
One little tree in the line. She pushes the ceiling. And she'll give herself a putt for par.
Yeah, it's just kind of hard to park this one. You often end up with a putt here.
Wow.
Even if it's a big putt and you can it.
Wow. That's 2 out. Is that 2 outside the circle putts already? 3 holes?
It
Holy
is.
cow.
Valerie put on a clinic yesterday with her putting. I mean, just with her scrambling, she saved so many strokes yesterday.
That's what a
Yeah,
uphill,
words.
uphill in the wind, like
Honk, yeah. Paige looking to save her par as well. Also a great putt. I bet that tree was a little in her way.
Erika was absolutely correct here. There were no birdies on the day.
It would take something spectacular.
Yeah, 50% with par, 50% with a bogey or worse. So these are 2 holes in a row where if you're parring them back to back, you're gaining strokes.
I don't mind the change, but I think at the very least, different tee pad that's like faced in the correct direction
Could
to
help.
give you a chance. Or
Oh no. Ella coming up just short for her par.
oh, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I feel you on the tee pad thing. It's like curving around that first tree is brutal.
Yeah,
Another new hole on the course this year, and I absolutely love this change.
Me too.
Yeah, you threw your first shot over the water. We did have a bit of a headwind today to deal with. The only thing you want to avoid is the big tree on the left and right. But it's a nice wide fairway, and you're not trying to do anything crazy. Just get out into the middle. If you do get far enough, though, and a little bit more left, it does open up the gap for you to potentially go across on your second shot. But most of the people, I think, on this card yesterday, just pitched up to this landing zone right here in the trees. There's more room to work with than you think. You don't want to be too far left or right because it eliminates most of your options, but very birdieable from there. No out of bounds, even though there is that advertisement wall. No out of bounds to worry about. Just a wide open green.
the drive, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, but it almost doesn't. Like, as long as you're across the water and not behind the one tree in the fairway, you're fine.
Good. Yep.
The biggest drive in the world, like maybe you could go across in a second, but most people are going to be laying up. Valerie with a really good shot there.
I think we agree here that this is a pretty soft
Yeah.
par here. I think we would do great with a par 4 if we had a tee pad like 50 feet shorter.
But I like this though because again, you can have a phenomenal drive, but the test is in the approach shot on your second shot. It's how well can you place it within a 15-foot radius to then attack. So
it is a tiny landing zone.
yeah, it tests multiple skills, and I like that it's a tiny landing zone, but you're also pretty close.
Yeah.
So it's doable.
Yeah, I like that thought process for this hole.
I really like it. I honestly wouldn't change this one. I would change 3, but I like this one.
Ella
I
and
don't even
Paige-
know where that went.
Yeah, they're both,
Whoa.
Ella and Paige both on the right side of that big tree. I
mean,
don't know what's over there.
Like, Paige a little bit better off, I think. Ella in some rough that, like, not many people are going to find. Because, I mean, she just threw so far. So here's the tricky landing zone. Valerie probably a little bit left and a little bit short of what you want. But she could still have something. Kat is way down here as well. And could think about going across. But look how small that gap is. I mean, that's 12 feet maybe.
yeah, she just chips up perfectly to the gap.
But as you said, Madison, in the flyover, there's probably 20 to 30 more feet past where Kat landed that's, like, fine and safe. But it's almost like an optical illusion where you often end up landing a little short.
Yep. Ella having to throw straight sideways to get to the gap. She'll be a little
She's
pinched on the
close.
right side, but there's some little tiny options over there.
Yeah, she got pretty close. And Paige with great distance, I mean, she's basically just, yeah, she's jump putting to approach. And that's the perfect spot, I think, just about.
Yesterday, Paige got a little aggressive on the approach and rolled down the hill into the water. Today, she checks up nicely, and she'll be in prime position for birdie.
Valerie catches some of the branches, but still manages to find the bullseye.
Those branches of that little tree right there are very nice.
That was sweet.
Yeah, I saw them do some very kind things to myself and card mates today.
Oh.
What?
Huh. Okay, so Val gets across. Pretty fortunate. If you lose something in that little bog right there, goodbye forever.
Yeah, no one's going swimming in there.
Ella does have a gap here.
Ooh, a really nice sidearm with some nice left to right action. Lands just around circle's edge.
That was an FD3 just to get the stability to try to get towards the pin. Paige with a wide open, fierce look. God, those are fun to watch.
They are fun to watch.
Like, it looks like it's going to stable out, and it never does.
It's so floaty and slow.
And just straight. That was awesome. Paige absolutely parked for the birdie.
So Kat forced to either try to throw it in here for birdie or just chip up for the par. Par doesn't feel great here. It's not what you want, but
It's fine.
yeah, only 33% of the field getting birdies on this one. That headwind must have proved a nice challenge.
Ella with a great run there for her birdie. Kat taking a par. Honestly, a pretty fortunate kick on her third shot to get across. Paige with really amazing birdie here. Like, she got super far drive, perfect approach, perfect second approach. Same for Valerie.
No eagles yet, but maybe we'll see one tomorrow when we have much better conditions, unless the forecaster lies again.
No, they can't. They can't.
They can't.
It's supposed to be pretty nice tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Ella with a par. Let's check in with the leaderboard, see how everyone else is doing. Wow, you almost don't realize when Valerie's shredding. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
she made two
It's
giant putts. She's 2 down, doing great.
Macy, the only other. Oh, Macy and Holly Finley both under par. And look at Juliana Corker, too.
3 down through 9. That's sick.
Yeah, sneaking into the top 10. Ella has some work to do. She can turn it around. There's always time at Idlewild to turn it around.
There's a goose up there, too.
Honk. Yeah, everyone else hanging around even par, just over. We're trying to really make the most of these calm conditions, especially when comparing to yesterday.
Yeah, trying to do better than yesterday is like the name of the game. Hole 5 is a par 3. It's 334, but kind of dangerous. It's on this right to left sloping side hill. There's OB, sidewalk left, OB water. Sorry, the sidewalk's on the right, the water is on the left. Most people, you'd be surprised at how many people are laying this up. Even though it's only 334, if to really go for it, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'll go back in. Wow. That's super lucky.
Twice or it's luck.
To really go for it, you end up pushing the water often. And like pulling towards the crowd seems like, oh, that's an unnecessary mistake, but that's the safe play, you know, like highs are out that way. Paige with a passion, trying to get some good luck as well, and she gets it.
Yeah, it takes a very special shot to get on this green. Something that pushes straight to the tree and lands gently. Or if you're Cat Mertsch, just throw a giant hyzer at the green with no fear at all.
Oh my god, that's so risky though. Like the fact that she checks up is kind of unbelievable. Most shot. Oh my god, she's no fear. She's young. Wait till she learns. I'm just kidding. That was an amazing shot.
Yeah, I hope she never loses it.
Keep that spark, Cat Mertsch.
That was amazing. Ella keeping it nice and low. This thing looks stable though.
So yeah, it's pushing OB. Yeah.
Aww.
At least she's pinned high and has a chance to save it. And what was that? That was so stable. It was only a PD. I think it was just early out of her hand.
Yeah. I like the low play.
Yeah. Valerie super lucky to kick in bounds with those boards.
Leaves the approach short, but she's kind of like at eye level with the basket right now. It takes away the elevation.
Yeah, it's sketchy though.
It's a death putt, but we
Paige
know
with
she
a layup.
loves death putts.
I mean, she at least isn't scared of them.
Yes.
Like,
Is she lining it up? Is she laying up? I don't know. I think she's lining it up.
I'll take it. I'll take the bet.
Yes.
Dang it.
Oh no. Man, and that's so normal here. If you do miss this basket, it's pretty much inevitable that it rolls.
Right. I want to take bets for the players. I never do. Literally never. Wow, what a great par save for Ella.
I think I accidentally set you up to be negative.
Is that what
better.
happens?
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
I literally don't believe in anybody, and that's like not who I am.
No, it's not. Valerie coming back for bogey.
Solid.
Or double.
Yeah, with
dang.
the double. Wait, no.
Yep.
1, 2. Yep.
The
math.
approach. Mm-hmm. Cat with
For
a
birdie.
rare bird.
Look at this.
Yes.
Sick.
Only 4 other birdies on the day. Macy Vela-Diaz, Stacey Ronsley, Kaidi Alasalu, and Holland Hanley.
I wonder. I'm trying to figure out what that like pinkish, fleshy colored thing that she threw is. Oh, it's a Thunderbird.
Oh, okay.
She describes it as skin-colored
My name is
Thunderbird.
Garrett Gerthy. People may know me as Double G, and I've been making Double G craft jerky since I was 16 years old.
And while Kona and I are driving, don't have time to stop and eat, so I always have her grab me a small bag of Double G jerky.
You got smash cracked pepper on Tuesday. Wednesday you got the garlic.
Late in the round, you know, hole 14, you might need a little pick-me-up. Pull out some Double G jerky.
Grab the big bag because you're gonna have to share.
You can find Double G craft jerky at doublegjerky.com.
It was important for me to partner with a retailer that could help with growing my brand and making my products available all over the country and across the world. Flight Factory has helped me accomplish that. Check out all of my gear and thousands of other discs at Flight Factory.
The orbit fell, and this thing has been amazing. The plastic, the flight, everything is just amazing. You can really manipulate the angles on this thing. It's a felon, but it does things that felons really aren't supposed to do, and that's why I love it.
Hole 6, 426 feet, but still a par 3. You think
average 4.0.
Yeah, you think downhill, okay, this one's reachable, but man, there's so many trees as you get to the second half of the fairway. There's also an out-of-bounds creek all the way down the left-hand side that comes into play so quickly if your disc hyzers out or gets a cut roll or hits a branch. This basket's also on an island green with that moat out of bounds all the way around it. This hole played as the 3rd most difficult, so in the first 6 holes we have the 1st and 2nd and 3rd most difficult holes.
I'm taking a casual poll, and everybody I've talked to, oh god, Cat,
dang, it was coming back too.
Winging it towards those spotters. She's out of bounds. Everyone I've talked to says they'd rather play this as a par 4 from the MPO pad, which is only about 100 feet back from us.
But it just makes more sense.
Yeah.
As a par 4, this hole.
So casual poll, tell us what you think in the comments, because this is a very difficult par 3. Paige also out of bounds, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, this averaged at 1 full stroke over par. So far, 2 for 2 tee shots out of bounds. Let's see if Ella can keep it safe.
That looks beautiful if it misses that huge tree. Sit. I think she's fine.
How does that tree eat so many discs? It's crazy. You think you threw the best shot ever, and it always finds that tree.
Someday we're going to murder that tree with discs.
It is a beautiful tree, though.
It is really gorgeous, but like it gets hit so often.
Wow, look at Valerie.
Holy, that's amazing. What a great shot. I think we saw maybe 2 or 3 twos on this yesterday, but like a couple of them are long putts. A few people are going to two this, but it is something special. It feels like an eagle for sure. Cat laying up. So this is a really popular play and I think very smart. Lay up short, give yourself, you know, circle's edge, putt to try to save the par.
There's not many times, though, in disc golf where you're like, oh, yeah, I'm fine with being on the circle's edge. Like, I'm going to take that. Yeah. But it's this risk reward that this hole demands on this second shot. Ella leaving it a little bit short, getting tangled up. She'll have a circle 2 putt.
This hole, one of many that is more of a chess match than anything else.
Totally.
I think this course, more than any other, like you are playing the course, and if you beat it, you could win the tournament.
Yep.
Like so many others, like you're playing your competitor, there's some match play. Like, no, forget all that.
Yep.
Just play Idlewild.
Paige tries to jump putt, but it checks up early. She'll have a long putt as well. That might have been all she had to work with. Valerie going for the green. She's far enough down.
Wow, that's awesome.
Nice one.
What a nice little soft approach. Not a lot of ground play on that very fast golf green.
And just an easy par for Valerie. Like, and you don't get those on this hole very often. It's really nice when you do.
Paige giving it a hard bid.
Sit.
Yep. Checks up nicely. There were no birdies on the day and only 30% of the field taking a par.
Wow, played tough today.
Yeah. It's like we all don't know what to do with ourselves when it's not raining.
I don't think that's it. No, I think it's just a really
hard course.
Really times 4 hard hole. Paige. Oh my God. Cat with an attempt at a bogey save.
Yeah.
Wow. Weird to say great bogey, but it was.
And that one feels good too. You're not like, oh man, you're like, yeah.
That's right. Let's see it again.
Kat's putting online today. I don't think she's missed a single one. I think this is her second one around circle's edge that's been in the bucket.
Right side and in. Man, Idlewild just demands the best of you, you know? Paige with like a decent putt, and that's a double bogey.
Yeah.
They just stack up so quickly.
I know we said it a bunch of times yesterday, but this is the type of place too where you just have to be okay with getting a double every once in a while.
Yeah, you can't let it get to you. You have to keep pushing or you will cry.
Yeah, even if you get like 3 or 4 bogeys or doubles like in a row.
Fine. That's fine.
That's fine. You still have to, especially in the front 9, you're like, all right, gotta buckle up. It's time to get moving.
Pull on your big girl pants.
And parring out the rest of the round, you're like, yeah. Seriously.
Hole 7, it's a par 4. It's only 400, which is sweet. It is a tiny gap off the tee. A lot of people go on putter or mid-range. If you want to get really aggressive with a fairway driver, you can. You want to land in this green patch right here if possible, and then it's just a straight shot up the hill, and then it's an easy birdie, right? Like, that's what you think, right?
Yeah.
But
400 feet, no big deal.
Mistakes happen.
It's very tight.
It is birdieable. This is like, okay, I could get a 3 here or I could get a 6 here, and I'm fine with either one.
Yeah, mistakes spiral quickly here, especially if you make an early one. Not making
like
it through this gap.
Come on, that's OB. Yeah. That entire, little bubble, I don't know what to call it, little fairy island is out of bounds if you don't get across.
There is a drop zone, I believe, if you do not make it across.
I love the sidearm, and you don't see it, I feel like, super often. That one's OB as well.
Ella pulling out a little bit of a slower speed disc.
Yeah, Kat was definitely getting very aggressive there.
And she found her way to the muddy area. Not quite as far as you want, but that is absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And in the middle.
That was a tactic from Ella, which is, I think, like a stable putter. I always need to look this disc up because she throws it a lot.
Paige throwing her
Beautiful.
fierce. Absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
Dead center.
Ella has a little bit straighter of a look at it. Paige will have kind of a tight hyzer gap, but it's absolutely workable. It's a good tee shot.
Let's watch Valerie from the drop zone.
Oh, no. That one is safe, but not in a great spot. Cat from the drop zone. This is such a punishing drop zone.
It is.
Cat, though.
Wow, I didn't even know that was possible.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of room on the right side. I mean, she was absolutely trying to go left side. That's the main gap. But, like, I mean, Kat's got a putt here to save. Saving par from the drop zone is, like, an unbelievable feeling.
It's big distance up that hill.
Mm-hmm. Big, straight, tough distance.
Valerie with 3 late releases in a row. Let's hope she can correct it because we are starting to get into the meat of the course here.
Whew. Wow, Ella just making it look easy here.
Yeah. That is a tight fairway. It's uphill. Your footing's all funky. That was amazing. Paige having to go through a really narrow gap here.
It's doable. If she hits this first gap. Oh, that looks great.
Okay,
awesome.
Right side.
Awesome. There's some, like, there's not the most room over there. I feel like you do have to get a little bit fortunate, but there's enough. It's workable. Valerie, not really happy, kind of fluffed, but inside the circle.
Yeah, once you start messing up on a hole here, it spirals, and you just want to get off the hole.
Cat for a par save.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's highlight.
Yeah, I mean, hyzer putt around the tree. Saving par, I'm telling you, saving par from the drop zone is like a unicorn.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this. That tree's immediately in her way. That's crazy.
And she just got 2 GK replays in a row.
Look at her. Look at her. Right side, left side.
Oh, what a great putt. What a great par save. Unbelievable.
Cat's so fun to watch.
Yeah, she is.
Valerie from 26 feet. Man. Usually you can counter in for those. It's rare she misses one from inside the circle.
I would think
Paige
she's probably a little frazzled right now. A lot of mistakes on this one hole, and it can feel overwhelming.
Mm-hmm. Sick birdie from Ella.
So good.
Yeah, when you practice it and you like lace each shot, you're like, yeah, 3, no problem. And then real life happens. And Paige coming in with a par. Valerie does have a triple there, kind of a rough go.
Hole 8, one of my favorite holes on the course, one of the Idlewild signature holes. You want to throw a hyzer here or a flip forehand that finishes out to the right. Most people are going to land right around this stump, or if you're fortunate, a little bit further. Your second shot, you got to weave through all these trees and try to land in this little grass patch right here that enters into the second fairway, where you throw a sidearm or another backhand touch turnover to this sloped green. You don't want to go too far past though, because those trees behind the basket drop really low and it makes it really tough to putt.
Yeah, it creates a low ceiling back there.
So it's a very straightforward, very easy birdie for.
Yeah, at less than 600 feet, it's a gimme, right?
Totally. No, there's
great shot from Ella.
Wow.
She definitely pushes that right side, but it pays off. She is way down there.
This is another hole where the tee shot really sets the tone. If you're having to scramble right off the tee, it makes the rest of the hole almost impossible.
I would say what Kat is doing here is the absolute aggressive line, and she laces it. I think that's a destroyer.
That's so good.
I would love confirmation on that, but like whatever it was, wow.
So good.
Paige doing something normal and throwing, I think that's a buzz. You know, like putter, mid-range, maybe a fairway driver.
And wow, I
like
mean,
that stump right there, that's a great spot to land. And you know, the other 2 ladies getting way past that. That's
all
nuts.
3 of those shots are
stellar.
Amazing. Yeah. It's not normal to see 3 perfect shots like this.
I think that's a bear from Valerie, thrown a little too wide. She drops in an okay spot. You can save par from there, but birdie's out of the picture. That looks like her Tour Series Vandal. Decent angle. Come out. That's fine.
Yeah, that's great.
Paige just dissecting the hole, throwing a putter here. It's her Crystal Fierce.
That's great. Yeah,
Yep.
she dissected this hole pretty perfectly yesterday as well. She's got it down to a science.
Ella, this is like a dream. And Kat's even farther. If you can get a few, 10 to 15 feet into that gap, it becomes I wouldn't say an easy upshot, but like a routine one.
Yep. Totally.
Most people just happy to get to almost the crest of that hill.
Ella continues to blow my mind how far she's getting down these wooded fairways. Mm-hmm. She throws far in the open, but man, she does it in the woods too.
Mm-hmm. And Valerie with a really good shot as well. I think she might be closest to the pin at the moment, getting a little bit farther.
So that right side used to be pretty brutal, but they've cleared it out a lot.
This is Kat's drive.
Wow.
She doesn't pull the upshot, but I mean, she's still in a good spot. Not great, but workable. Paige Pierce again. This is a very left to right moving gap. It requires a little bit more Anheuser than that to park it, but Paige is at circle's edge. Feels great to get all the way through to have a putt on this one.
Ella has a little bit more work to do. A flex shot here. She pulls out her trusty tactic. Makes it look like no big deal.
Wow. She's parked for her birdie.
Kat has a little baby gap to work with. Wait, that's the fairway? Oh my god, it looks so
like
small.
she's so far. I'm telling you, like her drive
was so far.
And she even like kind of yanked her upshot, but her drive was so good that it made this hole easy. There's something about being like, I don't want to say reckless, but like wildly aggressive, that allows Kat to kind of ease up the rest of these holes.
Yeah, but it is high risk at this course.
Yeah, but she's nailing it.
She's nailing them. Great birdie from Paige.
Absolutely. Great putt.
By the book.
Yeah, Paige kind of disking down and playing conservative to get the birdie. Kat disking up and playing just phenomenally insane to get the birdie.
And looking so casual.
Yeah, always.
Valerie with a great par save here.
Absolutely. I feel like that's like gonna be her new thing. Like, oh, she's off the fairway. Obviously, it's a par.
Yep.
And Ella with just an absolute tap and birdie.
3 birdies on hole 8. That's nice.
That's really good. Hole 9 is a par 3, probably the second shortest on the course, 258. You can throw a gentle backhand putter turnover or a righty sidearm, and you want to land kind of soft on this green. It can really skip and slide and leave you a long comeback or putt. But the name of the game is if you get through this main gap and main fairway here, you're pretty happy even with a par. Mm-hmm. Ella with a gorgeous shot. Big skip, which is, when you throw the sidearm, you know, like, I'm probably going to skip and maybe have a circle's edge putt.
I checked up nicely. Oh,
it's still going.
Oh, it did for a second, and then...
Weird. It's fine. Paige with the fears. A little too straight, but honestly, like, once you exit that main fairway and are in this grassy area, like, you're fine.
Yeah, that guardian bush, though, steals so many souls.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a bogey on this one feels terrible, but par's okay.
Valerie giving it lots of height.
Oh, wow.
These trees kind of knock it down and force it to hyzer out. She'll be in circle 2, pin high.
Kat with a really tough upshot here. Run it high and wide, but gets caught up. Kind of her first real blemish of the round.
Starting to rain here on hole 9.
Nope. Sit.
Just a wee bit low from Paige for her birdie, but a great dead center bid.
Kat for a par save. I thought she was going to do it for a second.
Too.
Wow.
Valerie with a low ceiling look.
Yeah, And right around that tree. Good effort. Par's fine. Ella closest to the pin here.
Wow.
Cashed for a birdie. Man, Ella looking so clean.
Yeah, that's clutch. Back-to-back birdies at Idlewild feels good.
Uh-huh. Back to back to back?
Is it 3 in a row?
I think it's 3 in a row. It's a turkey.
Wow. That feels real good.
Rare, I'm sure. I'd love to know the turkey stats in Idlewild. Turkeys for people, not... Yeah.
Let's look at our lead cards, front 9. Lots of colors.
Yeah. Cat even on the round, doing, you know, fine. Ella with that rough quad bogey to start, but is 3 over, which is fine.
That's great. Picking up the pace. That's good enough for top 10, I believe, yesterday.
Paige only 2 over, and Valerie, I didn't fully do the math. Let's see. She's 3 over on the round and has dropped a few spots. Her and Paige tied for 6th.
Lisa, look at her jumping into the top 3.
Yeah, Owen and Lisa kind of jumping up in that tied for 3rd with Ella. Macy, 1 down. She's tied for 1st right now.
Yeah, folks, we've got 2 new leaders. Cat Mertsch, Macy Valley-Diaz from the chase card. We got 9 more holes, and it gets sloppy out there. It's still going to be fun to watch, I know, because we're starting to get this course dialed, even in the crappy conditions. Thanks again to our VIP members. We thank you every video, but we mean it every single time. I'm Madison Walker.
I'm Erika Stinchcomb. We're your 2 hot geese, and we love you.
Honk.